This video is brought to you by Sleeping Duck. Check out the range of mattresses at sleepingduck.com.
Hey guys, welcome back to JordsWoodShop. Over the next couple of videos, we're going to be building this beautiful king-size bed frame, which I made to suit this amazing mattress from Sleeping Duck. Now the guys over at Sleeping Duck were cool enough to come on board and sponsor this build, and they're also offering you guys $100 off your next mattress just by using the link in the description below. So that's pretty easy. Now if you want to build your own bed frame just like this one, I've also made a set of plans available which you can purchase over on my website, and they're also linked to below. Now I'm building my bed out of this rough sawn black butt, which I actually milled and dried and all that sort of stuff myself several years ago. So I've got a lot of work ahead of me to get this broken down into the usable parts that we need. But if you're building along to the cut list, it's probably easier for you to just go off and buy material which is close to the final dimension. That way, all you really need to do is either thickness it or rip it down to width, and you'll be good to go. So that's everything laid out according to the cut list size. Now time to trim it down, take it over to the jointer and thicknesser, and get these pieces down to our rough dimensions of 35mm thick. Alright, so that's everything milled, and I actually did that a few days ago. So it's been sitting there for 2 days to move around. What I'm going to do now is move on to the templates for this bed, and for this we need two. The set of plans are going to have a better drawing than this, but basically we need a template for the short legs and a template for the long legs, which the backrest goes onto as well. So what I've already done is I went ahead and I cut out a few blanks which are to the correct size, and I'm going to mark all of that out. Yeah, that's basically the first template done. That's the easy one. It's just one curve and one straight line. The rear leg is a lot harder, and because I'm more likely to stuff that up, I've got two blanks here and I'm going to mark them out on both. So if I stuff up shaping it or cutting it or sanding it, I've got one to fall back on and it's not too many hours of work lost. So that's the templates all done. Now it's on to actually getting all of this timber into its final dimension. It's all the correct thickness, but now we just got to rip it all to the correct widths and cross cut it to the correct lengths. So while I'm here, I'm also going to chuck the 45-degree bevel cut onto the leg assemblies. That way it's done and I don't need to worry about it once the curves are cut. Oh, so this is everything here cut to length and the correct height, and basically we can start cutting joinery and profiles and all the stuff we need to do before assembling the frame. Before we do that though, I do want to assemble the leg assemblies for the footboard so we can cut the profiles out of them once they're actually in L shape. And by that I mean glue them up so they look like this. And the reason I want to do that now before we cut the profile out is because once the profiles are cut with that taper, they're going to be incredibly difficult to actually clamp together because they're just going to want to pop out. I decided to let those dry overnight because, well, I'm not in a huge rush for this build and it wasn't worth the risk of letting this miter separate when we started shaping this stuff. So, it's the next morning, and by the end of today, I think this thing will actually begin to look a little bit like our 3D model. I've got our template, I've got a sharp pencil. I'm going to start transferring all of these drawings and start rough cutting this stuff out using the bandsaw. Basically a repeat of the front leg assemblies where we just trace it, cut it out with the bandsaw and then finesse it using hand tools. Now you could make a router sled for this and do this with a pattern bit, but because there's only two, I think hand tools are the way to go. Now you can see the way we've laid this out here is with long grain going all the way up the backrest, and that is for ultimate strength. So just like you're doing a chair leg, you don't want this to be able to come across and split across the grain. So we've got nice long grain all the way along the leg. They're shaped and basically ready to go. That was a good bit of fun using the hand tools. Really probably could have done it with a router and a template bit, but I wanted to have some fun. Last thing we have to do is add a nice big round over onto this corner here, just to tie this entire thing together. Then we can move on to the joinery. Now the round over I'm putting on is pretty big. It's the size of this tape roll, and obviously I don't have a router bit that will be able to do that, so I'm going to be doing it all by hand. Right, that's the rear legs done, and basically we're going to get on to assembling this thing.